Welcome back to the Sisters Corner. I'm Alera.
I'm Ollie.
And we are bringing to you Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 16.
Guys,
review.
I am like...
I'm drained.
I'm drained. I'm just excited that next week is decision day.
Yeah.
But still wanted to like come through this week. But I cannot wait for decision day. Seeing the little juicy taste they gave me, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to wait.
Decision day
I'm going to pull through.
is giving everything this season.
Didn't give?
Yeah. Okay, so...
What do you want to start with?
Let's start with Jacob and Hayley.
Oh, Lord.
So this episode, our couples are speaking to their loved ones, friends, just to help them navigate the decision that they're going to make. So there wasn't really that much this episode.
There wasn't. It's just dry. I think
trying to bring the energy though.
Yeah, we'll try and bring the energy still. I think everyone was just preparing for that decision day.
Yeah.
I think for me, what we'll be focusing on talking about is maybe talking about each couple and who we think will make it, right? Rather than even analyzing this episode fully.
But what I will say is, did you notice how shady the producers were in this episode?
Yeah, they were.
Every time somebody
said something that they were
contradictory
like, to what they were thinking, they were
receipts.
They got like all this flashback, like boom,
I was like, y'all are so shady.
Y'all just want to go for this one. So
Jacob and Hayley,
nothing new, same old. You know, coming off the vacation, she was like, so what happened? And he had a really good story about what happened, the dogs, right? And I was like, oh my God, bless his heart. I don't know. Jacob is done. It's just there, taking away the time away. He's just running down time.
Did you see at the date when she was trying to engage him and he looked more interested in his stage?
Yeah, he definitely did. I think we're just having this conversation. She is in that reflective mode. She looks, to me anyway, and I think you agreed as well. Her whole demeanor in this episode was more remorseful, and sis is like, oh God,
I'm going back to the streets. It's like the penny finally dropped.
She's like, oh my God.
I was like, throughout
I'm going back to the streets. She just
kept reiterating about how she wanted to be married and she wanted it to work.
We didn't get that vibe. Like, now you're vocalizing that at the dying minute. You could have even vocalized that last week, maybe. You could have vocalized that before you took back giving back the bracelet. But now, sis, you're going to be talking about the street. You're going back to the streets.
Sorry. And I don't think the streets even want you.
Yeah.
Did you see when she had that conversation with her friend?
I wish they brought a real friend, not this fake friend that they brought.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the original friend.
I like that one.
This friend was like, if he called you up now, would you give it a second chance? But I felt like the friend was disrespectful. Oh God, I'm so tired. Because it was like, oh, if he changes how he dressed, if he changes how he talks, because she listed like lists of things that obviously she's been ranting to the friends about, and I was like, you shouldn't even be encouraging her in this way, because your talent is going to fundamentally change who they are, so that then she can accept him. That's ridiculous. Yeah, and then she was like, her response to me was like, after decision day we'll see, or something like that. So it's like,
delusional.
Throughout this whole 8 weeks, you didn't even make the effort to potentially throw in your all and see if there was something there. Fair enough, the physical attraction wasn't there, but still, I still felt like she didn't try hard enough.
I felt like she didn't try hard enough, and I felt like in her mind she really be thinking she tried hard, and that's what is really frustrating with Hayley, because in her mind she keeps on talking about, so funny enough, I finally caught up on maths Unfiltered because I wanted to, just so that I can have a more, so when she was reflecting on some of the things that she'd be doing, she was like, guess what, guys, if I'm not engaging Jake, it's not engaging me. If I'm not doing this, Jake is not doing that.
So there's no accountability whatsoever.
There was still no accountability. I don't know one of the experts that was sitting with her in that episode. The expert was just like, she was like, but do you maybe see his side? She was like, no, but he doesn't make an effort at all. If I'm not trying to have a conversation, but she was like, but can you see how maybe when you tell someone I don't find you attractive, they don't know how to come at you? And she was like, but if I don't make an effort,
She just
She
annoys
be
me.
singing the same tune as I said. Sorry.
I definitely think they'll both probably say. See, with Jacob, it's like, because he keeps reiterating he's 39, this is his last chance of love.
That really breaks my heart.
1% of me feels like he might say yes on decision day.
Right.
Just
no,
because.
I don't think so.
I hope not.
Yeah,
because
I don't even think
better.
so, because Jacob to me is so analytical and is so methodological. It's so in the way he analyzes things.
Yeah.
And I feel like even before decision day, he's
listen,
killed it.
At
Like,
the day
like,
when he was like, this
yeah,
is
yeah,
he
he just says like the right things for the camera, like, oh, I gotta fulfill my contract. Like, it's like, oh, we're reflective, oh, we had some nice times. Oh,
did you see when Hailey was like, she's learned a lot in this process, she's learned how to communicate better and how to dissect things better. Jacob actually went,
Jacob, he can't even lie. Jacob could have fooled me that he was a black woman. Okay,
Jacob is shady.
Facial expressions.
That was it for Hailey and Jacob.
Yeah,
it's
nothing new. Just reflecting and talking about the same stuff. I think at the end of the day, we can agree that we don't think they should be together.
They shouldn't.
It's so sad because I say we think they shouldn't be together, but it's based off what we've said. But at the back of my mind, I really think they could have had a good marriage.
Honestly, when the season started and I saw their picture together, I honestly had high hopes for them.
Right.
And they really, really had the potential. Because
they really did.
On a surface level or on paper, they actually know each other well.
Yeah.
It's if Hailey was willing.
Yeah,
that was just the issue. She wasn't willing.
Hailey has an image. She has an image of Jacob that she's not willing to shake off. She sees him in a certain light, in a certain rigidity that she's not willing to be flexible in her thought towards him.
It reminds me of in the beginning with Miles and Karen. Remember how she had this picture of masculinity,
exactly,
and she wasn't willing to accept.
No,
but over time,
yeah, she wasn't. But then, so this was a problem, right? I think we've said this so many times. It was the fact that let me tell you, if Jacob had backed off from the beginning, she would have moved
you know
forward.
how when someone no longer wants you, that's when
she would have moved forward.
Yeah.
And that was the mistake he was doing. He kept on like pushing and pushing, and that just made her like she just kept on.
I think it's because also Jacob is just not. He's like, I'm 39. I don't have time for this.
He wanted to fulfill I wanted to give it my best shot. I want to say, you know what, I came here, I tried. And then when they were talking on the couch, it was like, at least we're brave people. We came here. I was like, yeah, y'all are soldiers, man.
You came, you saw, you conquered.
Yeah, so.
All right, so moving on. Eric and Virginia.
Oh, Lord. Eric and Jenny. So this is I'm just going to summarize all I think and we'll go. Ginny is, in theory and in 4 to 5 years, she will be ready for marriage, but she's not ready for marriage. She's not. And don't get me wrong, she has all the qualities of someone that will be good in a marriage in the long run. But sis wants to be on the street. Just let her be on the street. You know what I mean? She's not ready for marriage. It's nothing to do with, and don't get me wrong, there's so many stuff wrong with Eric, right? Don't I'm not disputing all of that. And out of the two, apart from Ginny's willingness to want to be on the street, she's probably even more ready for marriage than Eric is, in terms of personality and character that you probably need to, your headspace that you need to go with into a marriage. She's probably more ready, but she's not ready. She wants to still be out there.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's just what I can see
when her friend came.
Is that the friend you thought she liked?
Yeah, she looked more excited to see Aaron, which was she was the only one that had a MILF.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's so expected.
But she was talking about how she wants her own personal space. Yeah. She wants him to be okay with her going out.
I'm happy for us to go out together, but if he doesn't want to go, I want him to be happy with me going. I was like, sis, that's not how this works.
It's weird because Virginia is, throughout this season, you see glimpses of her maturity and intelligence.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But then
that's why I feel like fundamentally,
she makes me dumbfounded at times.
Fundamentally, she has the character of that person that I think would be good in a marriage.
Yeah.
But she's not willing to be that person yet. She's like, she has the headspace of that person, but she's no, I want to be childish. I want to be drinking. I want to be out there. I want to do whatever. Yeah. And at the end of the day, she's 26.
She's 26.
It's okay. It's okay. So, but my thing is, why did you then come on the show?
It's unfair.
It's unfair. Don't get me wrong. Then it's unfair.
But then that takes me back to your point you made a couple of weeks back, that sometimes you think you're ready, but then when you're put in that situation, you don't know how you react to things.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. Neither of them were ready for marriage. At least she's very objective in the sense that she's able to analyze their relationship.
I wrote it down. I was like, she is so...
See the flaws in their relationship and, you know, like call them out.
Yeah.
But Eric, when he was talking to his friend, was like, everything is great. He was like, oh, I think the only challenge we have is she doesn't understand the way I say things. And then producers cue flashback of all his ultimatums.
All his ultimatums, Mr.
What I was just going to say about Eric is, because he's been married previously, I feel like he came into this with the mentality like, I don't want to fail.
Yeah.
I failed before, I don't want to fail.
For sure.
And then they gave him this young 26-year-old that's spunky, fun, energetic, like a shiny new toy.
Yeah.
And then I think initially he was like, I would be able to mold her.
And
now he's realizing.
He's finding out that this is the most mature 26-year-old you probably.
What I found interesting was during their date when he was like, I love you.
She looks so good.
She looks so
I was
beautiful.
like, sis, how you gonna be looking good like this, but on your wedding day, the pictures you're gonna be stuck with, you had that eyeshadow mess. This is the best look so far. She looked. I don't know what she did, but I think she was just like, she was dangling the cheese like, me, you don't want me?
So at the dinner when he was like, oh, you're amazing, you're everything I want, and then he started crying.
I wrote that down.
Virginia was just like,
why are you crying? Dude,
she was not moved.
No, she was not buying it. She was not buying it. It's so manipulative.
Do you think it came from a genuine place? Like, I didn't think it came from a genuine place.
She didn't think it came from a genuine. She was like, you manipulating.
She made a very good observation. She was like, she asked the question, do you believe in soulmates? And he was like, yeah, you're the one for me. You know, I don't think I could be with anybody else. She was like, nah, I don't believe in soulmates. And
that's why I feel like...
And I'm sure you felt that about your ex-wife.
Yeah. That's why I feel like Jenny, she'd be like, I don't want this marriage. I'm just going to try and throw as much...
I feel like at this point she's being self-sabotage.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. She kept going on about... She kept reiterating about, you have this one-dimensional view of how marriage should be, but we should define what marriage means to us. And then he kept going on about respect, and then she was like, why don't you just give me a list?
The shade. I felt like she was throwing everything at him this episode.
She was like, just give me a list.
Every time it's like the good times never last. One minute they're all smiling, and the next. So I think that Eric would want to hold on to this marriage, and I think that on decision day, if he says yes first, she would definitely be biting her tongue.
I don't know. I feel like with Virginia, what we've seen in the last couple of episodes, I think for her, the infatuation is worn off. It's worn off very quickly. She's picking up on the whole controlling thing, and she's really like stepping back and taking stock and like, can I deal with this for the rest of my life?
She really is. She even said that. She said it. She was like,
and I like the fact that even at 26, she's a no-nonsense young lady.
Good. That's good. At least if you know yourself, that's the best thing anyone can do for themselves. It's like, know yourself, because at the end of the day, you don't want relationship and friendship or people to be the one molding you. You gotta know yourself.
One final thing on Eric and Virginia. I don't understand his constant need to want Virginia to see him as her number one person and best friend. Because when he was talking to his friend, he was like, I want to be her number one.
And even at decision day, it was like, I'm not a number one person. And then the expert asked him, so who is a maybe he knows something that we don't. Maybe
no, but still. You're still a stranger. It's just
time.
8 weeks.
And you want to be my
best friend?
That means I'm fake. If I make you my best friend in 8 weeks, that
because we haven't gone through anything.
We don't have the history.
Our bond hasn't been tested. Nothing. I was like, child, you're just throwing all these flowery words for the sake of throwing them.
But it's a bit much. It's
all right,
really
so let's move
on to the delusion boat. You know what? I've been riding this boat. I'm with them. Okay, leave my delusion peeps alone. But I guess we're talking about Ryan and Clara. Everything is a competition to this peer. Everything. It feels like even when there's no competition, they still want to be the best.
Did you see how they said if they were at the couples game, the retreat,
they would have won? Yeah.
You guys are not even in the same book. Talk less of on the same page. I did feel like in this episode, Ryan was a bit more honest in the sense of in the confessional. Maybe not to her.
It was a bit more reflective. Even with his friend, he was definitely being more reflective in this.
So let's talk about Clara and her friend. When she was speaking to her friend, she rated their marriage again, guys. 10 out of 10.
There's no 10 out of 10
there's
marriage.
No 10 out of 10.
A toddler knows that there's no 10 out of 10 marriage.
Even couples that have been together for decades.
Yeah.
There's no
How you gonna sit down there with a blank face and just be spitting out straight up lies?
Then in the same breath, she now has the audacity to call him her. She says, "Oh, it's like having a living best friend. It's like a sorority sister."
The disrespect. Yeah. No, guys. This pair, they make me tired. Like I just don't know what's going on with them.
After she called him a sorority sister, I was like, I now understand when you were saying they're like two best friends living together. You see, when they came back from their date and they were lying on the bed and she was on his lap, it reminded me of like a dog clinging to their master.
No, it was ridiculous in this episode. It was quite one thing I wanted to pick up on again was that...
Is it their personality test?
Well, yes. Before we get to that, I noticed that Ryan never actually says no. He doesn't use the word no.
He talks around in circles. He's very smart.
He's very smart.
He doesn't want to be
so when something, he doesn't negate something.
And he doesn't confirm.
Because when his friend asked him something, I don't know what the question was, the friend asked him about him and Clara.
Are you on the same page?
Are you on the same page? He didn't say no. It was like, oh, that's actually a good question. He does that thing so well. I was like, dude, you're crazy.
And then
you are...
even though he didn't answer Q production, producers with the flashback.
They got the flashback for you.
Of all the times they had conflicting.
Especially that my favorite scene of the season is that guys, if you haven't seen it,
the way that girl eats.
She's like, I'm just here for the donor. I didn't think there's gonna be a self-motivating. That was hilarious. That was so good.
So what about when his friend asked him about challenges and he said she's constantly wanting to talk about feelings?
Yeah. I would find that exhausting too.
It's draining, but then I think that's because, from her perspective, I think this is the only time I will agree with Clara, or not even agree, but maybe like understand where she's coming from.
Yeah.
Because she's emotionally starved, right? So I think she's always bringing up the conversation of, this is how I'm feeling, to try and get a reaction from him. Because if I'm constantly talking about it,
that's probably true.
That will probably gear you to
key in. So she's trying to get.
But then again, it's draining.
It's draining.
It's draining.
And
so the personality test, Ryan wants them to do this personality test so that they can plan for the future, have goals and all of that. Because he's really purpose driven. Clara practically answered no to all the deep,
you got goals,
intellectual questions.
No. Are you ambitious? No. Do you see a future for yourself? No. Do you want to? I'm sorry, guys.
You know what? Even if you're the most beautiful woman on the planet, the fact that you have no goals for yourself is a turn off. I'm sorry, it's a turn off.
It really is. It's not even about being. She really is. She's a beautiful lady. Don't get me wrong. But Alera, even beautiful people, like sexiest man alive, they have goals. It might not be. Oh, maybe your goal might even be someone like, I want to be. Even Kim Kardashian has a goal. Do you know what I mean? I want to be like the best influencer. Even porn stars have goals. They have goals.
Everybody
has a goal.
So for me, the reason why I don't think she was lying is because so she's a really creative person. So
exactly, that could be something too.
All the creative questions she answered yes to.
Oh.
But then I noticed that
maybe she doesn't understand what a goal is. Because at the end of the day, even if you want to excel at being that creative person you are, that's a goal, right?
So
it's such a weird one.
So when she was saying no to all these things, she said how Ryan looks like a deer in headlights. So in the confessional, he was like, we have vastly different opinions.
Sure, this is not right. But then, that's what I said, she can be molded.
She's already been molded.
Yeah, she's already been molded.
Did you see when she said she goes to bed at 10:30?
Yeah.
So this was an issue in the beginning.
She was like, I've never gone to bed. Now she's
very agreeable.
Yeah,
like
she's
said.
very, very agreeable.
She's conforming to what
I think Eric might have loved her. I really think she and Eric could have been like an amazing couple. You know that?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we'll find her attractive, and then she would just say yes to anything. Move into my apartment when. Yeah, they could have made.
Anyways,
but then she don't like
basic Caucasian sex.
If you didn't say that, I would have been like, no way. I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh my god. It's very interesting when the night before the decision day, or when they have to go back and pack their things, she was like, just one more day and we'll be husband and wife forever and ever. And Ryan was like,
no, they give me vibes like they have like a blood covenant as well. Like they just weird guys. I'm not even lying. This couple is everywhere. It was because that was when it was stroking the hair, and it was like forever and ever,
forever,
and then.
But I do think that they will both say yes.
Yeah, I do.
Because
Ryan
said that he's a perfectionist.
This is her best relationship yet. So.
But it's interesting because
what's gonna go wrong?
Everything we've seen, there's nothing that we've seen that makes them compatible.
No.
Even like the most important things like belief, spirituality, goals.
I wonder how they match them up. Is it because she wants a black guy?
Ryan mentioned when he was speaking to his friend that he wanted someone creative, someone quirky, someone fun.
So I guess that's what they matched.
And everything he described is actually Clara.
And then she just wanted a black guy.
Yeah. Feel like to those people.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Like they don't match up on anything.
They don't match on anything.
Yeah.
Brianna and Vincent.
Yeah. Man, you know what was funny to me? You know how when you're trying to have a gossip session, but it goes wrong?
It goes wrong.
That was the first thing I was
like. That's basically what. So they weren't trying to gossip about the couples they think will say yes, and then it just went left.
I was like, yo, went from thinking we got this to like.
The process of them having, that gossip session of who they think will stay and divorce. Brianna then brings up the issue of she thinks Vinny is unorganized. Okay, so let me set the scene for you. For me, I felt like she wasn't being confrontational. She said it in the most loving way. They were laid in bed together, and she said, I think you're unorganized,
right?
But then I think organization comes naturally for some people.
Yeah, and then she was like, I'm even excited because you know what that means. That's probably why they paired us together, because then that's something.
And she said,
I'm excited for the both of us. I can do it.
My man didn't take too kindly.
And this is what really I couldn't, like, it would frustrate me.
So this is where, for instance, look at Woody and Amani. When Amani called out Woody in certain things, Woody would like play off and crack a joke. So I expected Vinny to be like, baby, that's why they paired us together, because you're my strength.
Yeah.
You help me.
You do all the organizing.
You do all the baby knock yourself out.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, at the wedding when your family
So let me tell you something.
When your family told me you were bossy, it was a turn off for me. And I was just like, what you said, tit for tat.
Yeah.
And I really hate that whole behavior of,
I hate
I'm calling you out on something, that's not the time.
Then you gotta find, that's the time you think you have to find something negative about me to say.
And not just something negative.
Something that's fundamental to my character.
Apart from that, apart from just negative, now you want to come back and hit me below the belt.
Yeah.
What he did was you called me out? Okay.
Yeah. Is that what we're doing now?
Is that what we're doing?
As much as I was just looking past like the whole season, Brie has not done anything. She hasn't had like a blowout. Like she hasn't done anything that I'm like, I don't know. Like she's been pretty consistent.
So for me, I feel like if she remains with him, he's going to dim her light. And let me give you an example. You know when they got back home and they were in the closet and he was saying something in Spanish and she interpreted it in English and she was saying, did I get it right? He was like,
oh, check me.
She was like, give me affirmation. I need words of affirmation. He didn't say anything.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. So,
it's a bit... Guys,
I'm tired of
relationship
him.
out there be hard, guys. Why?
I'm tired of him because he's got an amazing and this is what his friend said when he was complaining to his friend that she's bossy. His friend was like, so do you not want somebody that's direct with you?
Yeah.
And I don't think throughout the season we've seen her say anything in a disrespectful manner.
That's why I'm so confused. So you definitely brought up that comment to her.
You did.
I need you to hone that. Like I need you to hone that you can be childish and you can hit below the belt. Because when she brought up the unorganized stuff, it wasn't to hurt you. But you looked at her and you wanted to hurt her, and that pissed me off.
Okay, so the final thing, let's talk about.
Yeah, man, she
the braid game. So
he caught her hair.
Yeah, so when they got back from their date, he was like, "I've got a surprise for you." They get in bed.
That was weird though.
They get in bed. They're in their pajamas. They're
oh my god! Vinny wanted to lose weight, but did you see the big animal they brought to the table?
What was Brianna wearing at the date? She looked like a deaconess.
Oh my god!
She looked.
I think was Brie coming from work with that business?
I don't. She looked like a deaconess or a church.
Yeah, I was like, I don't understand.
Of all the things she's doing.
I was like, man, you be coming through, but
I didn't get it.
On this final day, it shows the state of the relationship.
Was she trying to show that she's not bossy with her attire?
That's a bossy look. The tie her birds, the whole suit. That's a bossy.
I wasn't feeling that. No. She reminded me of a church.
All the couple felt like they came through except whatever she had.
I don't know what she was wearing. So they get in bed, they're in their pajamas, and then Vincent is like, no, then Brianna was like, oh, you said you had a surprise for him, so I guess all day he's been saying that he had a surprise.
And I was like, oh, is it cheesecake good? And she was like, yeah.
This man pulls out a scissors from underneath the pillow. When I saw the scissors, I was like, oh,
lifetime. Yes, son. That's so silly. I figured you're like lifetime.
And then it's a good thing I've got braids today. So he takes a braid in front of her hair and then cuts it. Like he cuts it from there. It wasn't like he cut it at the root. It was really
right
at the tip.
It was really at the tip. And even with that, if Topsy cuts your hair, it's not the end of the world. You can just roll it.
So we have different opinions on this. So she's like, it's not a big deal.
I didn't, guys. Please comment below if you thought that hair cutting moment was a big deal. Let us know, and please can you let us know why you think it was a big deal. So because I really didn't. I thought it was like, oh babe, I'm gonna help you even cut your I'm gonna help you take out your hair, because they said you've talked about the fact that you want to take out your hair. So I didn't actually personally, but guys, I want to know what y'all think.
Okay, so my perspective, the reason why I didn't think it wasn't cute. I think if it was on in a different circumstance, I would see it as a joke. But just coming off the whole conversation they had, where he now retaliated with trying to, bring her down and say hurtful things to her, and then. My thing is, they're in bed, even though she talks about taking her hair out, they're in bed about to sleep. Why are you having scissors in bed underneath the pillow? Like it was
just trying to surprise her.
That's not a surprise.
Guys, comment below, because I felt like I didn't understand why Brie reacted the way she did.
She didn't blow off the handle. She was just like, why would you do that?
But a whole demeanor change, right?
Because why are you cutting my hair for? Then everybody knows you don't play with a black woman's hair. You don't play with a black woman's hair.
But that's not even your real hair. That's just extension.
Are you actually gonna say that? Sit
No,
there?
but it's not even like her, you know, it's not like
You cannot say it's not her real.
Don't
It's
touch
not
my Mongolian
as long as it's attached to her head. It's
Oh
her hair.
God,
It's her
guys.
hair.
I don't know.
It's her hair.
Okay,
It's her
guys,
hair.
let us know what
Like,
you think.
he's gonna be
Me and Alera,
lifetime
we're not gonna
vibes.
agree on this, and that's okay. We think they're gonna stay together. Is that what we're going for?
I think they're gonna stay together.
But yeah, I was a bit pissed. It was like, do see ya. I guess they didn't sleep right that night after the
Yeah, so the next morning he just packs up and leave, and he was like, nice knowing you, and she was like, that's it. There was no hug, no kiss.
Nah, really
she's
deep.
been a saint.
Yeah, it was really
Even
deep.
with all her flaws, but in this whole 8 weeks, she's been a saint.
Yeah,
she's been
it was really-
nobody's perfect, but
exactly.
it's just that whole when he gets overwhelmed or embarrassed and he throws his toys out of the pram. Like, if you can just work on that, work on that,
they should be fine.
they
right?
should be fine. Yeah.
So we
There
think
you go,
they're gonna
guys.
stay together. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you guys.
Catch you
Later.
Bye.
Bye guys. Thanks.